With France in the middle of a troop withdrawal from Mali and UN peacekeeping forces still deployed there, the country is facing growing uncertainty. And it's not just security that's on people's minds. Many fear that international involvement might not be limited to military operations, with one of the country's few thriving industries apparently being eyed by foreign corporations. RT's Maria Finoshina digs into the story.
Little Namina entertains herself while her entire family is at work. Her mom, dad, brothers and sisters are all miners at one of Mali's many so-called traditional gold mines.
We make a hole the size of a body with this, and then we dig deeper and deeper.
The industrial mines, with serious investment from big foreign companies, work with machinery. Although often referred to as government mines, they're all in fact private, with only 20% of their revenue being paid into the country's coffers. Those who work in traditional mines don't have to pay the authorities, but at the same time, they don't get any help either.
The hole is narrow and deep. They dig until they strike gold ore. Some of the mines here go down at a depth of 60 meters, the equivalent of a 15 or even 20-story building. The tunnels are so cramped, there is barely any room for movements here. With no support structure, it looks like it may collapse at any moment. It's quite scary here. Bonjour, monsieur, ça va? Combien de temps vous avez déjà passé ici?
4 heures.
4 heures. This miner tells me he already spent here working underground 4 hours. It must be very hard. Why I'm asking is that in a few minutes, breathing becomes difficult with a lack of oxygen.
This is the hardest part of a very long process. Rocks are extracted before being pounded, sifted and washed. If the team gets lucky, their hours of back-breaking work will produce some grains of gold. The money raised by the sale will then be divided between all those who went down the pit, sometimes as many as 1,000 miners.
I'm not happy as I work more hours than I get for it.
Having spent around 5 hours here, we are dirty, exhausted and terribly dehydrated. People here usually work from 10 to 11 hours per day. Every evening they're paid, but not in cash. They're given rocks taken from the mine. These may contain gold. If it doesn't, they're just left empty-handed.
This game of luck is, for many Malians, their only way of getting paid. But it seems their dreams of wealth in one of the poorest countries on earth could be dashed as the government moves to ban traditional mines.
It's on a huge scale. We lose a lot of money. The black market is growing. There is no proper tax system, and we don't get a penny from it.
Officials complain that traditional gold exploration is not about helping the poor to become more affluent, but about exploiting them to make the wealthy much richer than they were before. Mali's gold exports have more than tripled in the last decade, yet Malians indeed seem not to be among the beneficiaries. But not all believe the authorities' intentions will diminish poverty.
They only care about big corporations who are going to come in and take over our country's mineral wealth. Certainly they don't care about ordinary people.
This November, a joint Mali-Swiss venture will start operating the country's first gold refinery. With a monthly capacity of half the country's annual production, it will require a huge increase in exploration. At least 7 Chinese geological agencies have already arrived in the country, with many more likely to follow.
Will these others change anything for the better for people?
The future of these people remains uncertain, like their income, and it's not clear whether they'll still have even their meager place under the African sun. Maria Finoshina from Mali.